The World Cup is an important event for any country that wants to promote itself worldwide. There are 201 countries that part of the FIFA and 196 are part of the United Nations. For each election, each attempt for World Cup, there are 10, 15 countries competing to take part of the World Cup and Olympic Games. In the last one, the President Barack Obama was personally here to compete that with Brazil, and now recently Japan, a great power around the world, was also part of it. There are other countries like New Zealand, Samoa Islands, African countries, Central America, Eastern European countries. They also have the chance. They also want to do the World Cup because it's important for tourism, the image, and also investments that are made in the country. But this is not made to solve the problems of the countries. If it were like this, the United States wouldn't have problems like this. We know how many poor people have in Atlanta nowadays. Europe has problems with economy of Greece and Portugal, and Portugal was the host of the Champions League recently. Football, soccer is an important sport here because the masses adopted this. The elite have not adopted this, and now the elites are saying that we don't like it, we don't want it. But what we see here in Salvador is people, tourists. There is a great interaction with many parts of the world that are in the capitals. But after the World Cup, we have to fight for citizenship. We have to fight for solutions that have been waiting for 514 years. And the contradiction is that many people are fighting for the World Cup not to happen. And these people were in the government 30, 20 years ago, and they did not do anything for education, for health, for infrastructure. Many people are fighting for education, but they were against the quotas recently. They were totally against opening the universities, fields, academic fields of knowledge for the Brazilian people. So for Brazilian people, only had carnival and soccer for happiness. And this is where we have Brazilian technology. It's different from other sectors which we import technology. So the World Cup is to celebrate soccer, happiness. It's a dispute. It's like the whole Roman arenas. All the stadiums look like the Colosseum. The people there are not only to watch, but also to forget some problems. But if people is mature, democratically mature, when we finish that, we will have elections and we will discuss discuss the issues of the country, not in a living way. Oh, because we don't have education now. In São Paulo, now for the opening of the World Cup, there were some protests, and there was a little boy. His father took him there. He was saying, "I want education. I want education," and his father said, "No, you're not going to do that. You have to get ready to live." So if we are going to protest, we're not going to break anything, we're not going to set fire on buses, I'm not going to break the bus stop, because this is all expensive and we have to pay for that. But it was positive to have Brazil as the host of the World Cup. It's positive to have the Olympic Games. And I have two questions to finish here. Who pays for the Formula 1 events in Brazil? Who pays for the big religious events in Brazil? It has always been public money. Who pays for the festivals in Brazil? It's public money, and nobody demands no legacy from that. So it's a competition. And when the World Cup was approved for Brazil, different cities from different political parties, everybody was happy and cheering, governors, mayors, because they saw that in this event there was a possibility. To sum up, there are Egypt and Morocco. They tried to have the World Cup with us. In South Africa, we have two events: the Rugby World Cup that united the country, and also the World Cup that united the country. And everybody was saying that South Africa wouldn't do that. Nelson Bento and I were in Johannesburg, and we saw that was the first time that Johannesburg was having buses for the public transportations. So what we're talking about is this legacy is not only necessary for Europe, for the United States. They want the World Cup there, and London now. London wants the Olympic Games to go there. There are other countries with problems like Germany, England. They keep beating Brazil, but they want the Olympic Games to go back there because it represents 4.5% of the GPU in the country, and everything was financed with public money.